Hello, welcome to your weekly dose of strength. There is a fascinating plant that I want to talk with you about quickly. It's a plant called the soldanel plant, and it grows in the Alpine mountains in Europe. And the remarkable thing about this plant is that it grows when nothing else is growing. It grows in the winter. It grows among the snow and the ice on the ground, but yet this plant actually buds right through the snow and stretches its blossoms up to the sky, and it blooms when nothing else is blooming. Question is, how does the plant do it? Well, it does it not by its activity in the winter, but it does it by its activity in the spring and the summer. You see, during the spring and the summer, it doesn't bloom. It's just a blade, and it has roots that go in the ground. And that blade of grass, that blade of the soldanel plant, it literally sucks in all of the rays and the heat from the sun. That it spends every single day sucking in the heat from the sun and packing that energy down in its roots till the roots grow deeper and deeper and deeper further in the ground, so that when the winter comes and life seems to be dormant and the cold, frigid air is all around and the ice and snow has killed everything else around it, this plant calls upon the reservoir of energy that it's been storing during the summer and pulls that energy up, thrives and buds through the ground, breaks through the ice and the snow, and stretches its beautiful petals towards the heavens and blooms. That's what I want for you, and that's what I want for me. That whenever it's winter in our life, and whenever there is no life around us, and everything has died, and it seems like our hopes and dreams are shattered, and possibilities and doors of opportunities are closed, when it looks like health is failing and disappointments assail and life becomes hard, frigid, and cold, I want you to be able to bloom right in the midst of the winter and the coldest season of your life. And how do you do it? By calling upon the seasons of meditation and the seasons of spending time in the presence of God during the summer of your life, during the good days of your life. Whenever the sun is shining, that's when you spend time with God and meditate upon Him, concentrate upon His goodness and His grace and His glory in life. Celebrate all that God is in the night watches and all that God has promised in His Word, holding Him to His Word and spending time in the presence of God. And when you do that, the energy and heat from the rays of the Word of God gets down in the roots of your life, and the promises of God become real, and the worth of God becomes relevant to you, and the strength of God becomes available to you. And whenever it gets cold and when life gets hard, you call upon the reservoir of strength that you have from the Word of God, and you can blossom right in the midst of the winter. David expresses this in a beautiful way in Psalm 63. I want to read it for you. In Psalm 63 in verse 1, here's what he says: "O God, you are my God. Early will I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My flesh longs for you in a dry and a thirsty land where no water is, to see your power and your glory, so as I have seen you in the sanctuary. Because your loving kindness is better than life, my lips shall praise you. I will bless you while I live, and while I will lift up my hands in your name. My soul shall be satisfied as with marrow and fatness, and my mouth shall praise you with joyful lips. When I remember you upon my bed and meditate on you in the night watches, because you have been my help. Therefore, in the shadow of your wings will I rejoice." I don't know if you caught what David was saying, but the picture that he paints is a dry and thirsty land. The picture that he paints is a withered space where there is no water, there is no life, but David says, I will lift up my hands and rejoice. I will celebrate you. I will praise you with joyful lips. He says, I will worship you right in the midst of an arid and dry environment. Why? Why? Because he's been meditating on God. Because he's been concentrating on God in the night watches. Because he's been spending time with God. He's been studying and reading the Word of God. He's been holding God to his promises. That's what I want to tell you. It doesn't matter how dark and how bleak and how cold life might get. If you spend the right time with God, if you spend time around the Word of God, in the presence of God, you'll have energy, you'll have strength so that you can rejoice even when storms are blowing, the snow is falling, and the ice has caused everything around you to die. You can still rejoice. I know it gets hard, and I know it gets difficult. You cannot prepare for the difficulties when the difficulties come. You have to prepare for the difficulties before they come. Spending time with God, that's the secret. Well, I pray that it's blessed you. This has been your weekly dose of strength. God bless.